Početnik sastava za današnji susret je line-up Photoball match. Za gosti za Austriju, for Vienna Wanderers from Austria, levi vanjski left fielder Andreas Lastinger. Hvatač catcher Jerry Lakaja. Zatim srednjovanjski centerfielder Dominik Taler. Četvrti line-up, pozivati na line-up desni vanjski right fielder George Steinberg. Designated hitter Felix Zimmerle. Igrač prve baze, first baseman Hiro Sakanashi. Igrač druge baze, second baseman Kristof Hošer. Međubazni igrač shortstop Fabian Hirschel. Igrač treće baze, third baseman Aleksandar Resar. I startni bazač, starting pitcher for Vienna Wanderers, Andrew Silva. And the rest of the team. The rest of the team will join the opponents. Za ekipu Olimpije, starting line-up of Olimpija Karlovac. Prvi igrač, first in the line-up, Luvanski left fielder Kevin Volarić. Luvanski, center fielder Severin Gales. Međunarodni igrač, shortstop Jorge Javier Alcala. Do prve baze, first baseman Petar Jure Rivera. Danas ulazi designated hittera Pavel Karin. Igrač treće baze, third baseman Benjamin Pavlić. Karlovac Lugovac, the second baseman, Bartol Bosanac. Desnilanski, right fielder, Sven Anic. Starting bacač, starting pitcher, Carlos Eduardo Garcia from Kosovo. Suci današnjeg susreta, umpires of today's game, na domaćoj bazi, complete umpire Andrej Beneš. Na prvoj bazi first base umpire Aleksandar Hrto i na trećoj bazi third base umpire Petar Bilinji. Will be thrown by president of the Confederation, president of European Baseball Federation, Karlovac. Ball one.
Hello everybody and welcome to Karlovac, Croatia, the site of the Confederation Cup 2023. The top 8 to 15 European teams are here, and this week is gonna be a beautiful time for baseball. This is the third match of a day between the hometown Olimpija Karlovac, the organizer of this cup, the Croatian champion, and one of the best teams here from this part of the Europe. They're facing off against a team from Austria, Vienna Wanderers. We went through the ceremony, and first pitch was thrown out by the president of the European Baseball Federation, Krunoslav Karin, who traditionally did a first toss and opened the tournament. Olimpija and Vienna Wanderers, they know each other from the past. The teams are well-known teams in Europe, in top of their leagues for years now, and this is going to be their 8th match in the European competitions, with Olimpija winning 6 and losing 1. The last match against those two teams were 2001 in Federation Cup, where Olimpija beat the Vienna Wanderers 3 times. It was the COVID times and not many teams were present on that cup, so it was round robin played for 2 times, and I think in the semifinals Olimpija was better and beat Vienna Wanderers. So it's gonna be a pretty good match today, pretty good game we're expecting. The two teams should be about even strength, let's put it that way, with other teams being here from Spain, and 2 teams from Spain, 1 team from France. We have Belgian team, a team from Switzerland, and Austrian and a Croatian team. So leading off for Vienna Wanderers, Lastinger Andreas, the left fielder. Pitcher, today's starting pitcher for Olimpija, it's Carlos Garcia. A Venezuelan pitcher, was in Europe for last 6-7 years, swinging on a first pitch. Lastinger hits, and great catch by catcher Phil Smith. One out, second banding Jerry Lacayo. Again, starting off next batter with a strike, which is always good for a pitcher. A batter is Lakayo Jerry, the catcher of Vienna Wanderers. Another good pitch by Carlos Garcia. Like I was saying, Carlos Garcia is an old face in Europe, here for 6-7 seasons. Started in Serbia, Belgrade, and then moved in Croatia. And last 4 years he spent here in Karlovac with Olimpija Karlovac. And really good pitcher. Played in a minor league for the Red Sox organization. Actually has the rings, won the championship, the minor league championship with the affiliated team of Red Sox. Good hit, but line drive directly to Alcala. Alcala, the shortstop of Olimpija, another Venezuelan in Olimpija team. Olimpija has 2 Venezuelan players. Catching for Olimpija is Phil Smith, first base Petar Umara, second base Bartol Bosanac, Jorman Alcala on shortstop, and Benjamin Pavlic on third. Another good start, another good first pitch strike, which makes a huge difference in batting average. Swing, and it's gonna be a foul ball outside of the stadium. The outfield of Olimpija, we have Kevin Volaric in left field. We have coach player Slobodan Bobo Gales in center field, one of the most experienced players and anchor and heart of this team. And in right field we have Sven Anic, who's but for sure as far as Olimpija goes, the fastest kid on the field. Olimpija has a team that it's kind of a mixture of experience, as Carlos Garcia finish off with a great look like a changeup for a strike, 3 out, and a perfect first half of an inning for Olimpija. By lineup, Lastingen Andreas in left field, Lakayo Jerry catcher, Talir Dominic center field, Stemmer George right field, Zimmerle Felix DH, Sakanashi Hiro first base, Hoschner Christopher second base, Fabian Hirschnall at shortstop, Alexander Rissel at third base, and pitching it's Andrew Silva. I was going through the stats and I could not find the stats of Andrew Silva, so maybe he's just a pickup for this tournament. This is usually what the teams do, as they can have up to 3 players on the roster who are a foreign player, or I would say non-European player, I think is the rule. So a lot of teams, well, the teams who can afford, let's put it that way, go in that way and hire just hired guns just for a tournament. They come in for 10 days and hoping they're gonna give the team that edge. So this is as far as European competition, there is a Cup of Champion, which is a top European cup with top 8 teams being there. Saying top 8 teams, those are top 8 teams based on the last year's standings. And this cup here, Confederation Cup, in beautiful town of Karlovac, Croatia, it's teams ranked from 8 to 15. Winner of this cup, beside getting good praises and nice trophy and recognition, will earn automatically a spot in Cup of Champion, but it's not gonna be a spot for the team, it's gonna be for a champion of their country. So the teams are playing for themselves, but at the end of the day it's a country that profits if team does good. And leading off for Team Olimpija, it's Kevin Volaric, the left fielder. A young, excited player. He's around 20 years old, from the Olimpija system. He's been playing baseball for years. Takes the ball to the right field. Nice diving stop and good PFP. Good PFP and out at first base. It was well hit ball on the right side, but a nice diving stop by the first baseman of Vienna Wanderers, Sakanashi Hiro. Nice diving play. Pitcher was there covering. A lot of times you see pitchers kind of freeze and just stand there and don't move, but Andrew Silva looks like he's more experienced than that to make a mistake like that. So first out. Now coming at bat for Olimpija, number 31, Phil Smith. And swing and a foul ball. Phil Smith is a true American hitter, a ball crusher. One of the players who hit the longest home runs here on the field. American player from Ohio who now we can say is totally Croatian. First he came to Karlovac to 2015 and it was love at first sight. He fell in love in the city, fell in love in the baseball here, and he's been coming ever since. In the meantime, he found the love of his life here as well, and his heart and soul belongs now to Karlovac. Great addition to the team for many years. Also, through his really notable achievement in baseball, was able to acquire the Croatian citizenship, the citizenship that is issued just to very few who are actually making a difference in sport in Croatia, and Phil Good Smith is definitely one of those guys who makes a difference. Great teammate and really great to have around and have on the field. As 2 strikes, he's battling, battled off a tough pitch for a foul ball, choked up the bat, looking just to put the ball in play. Good take for Phil. Was a slider, more like a sweeper, but Phil did not bite. Fastball inside. Here Karlovac is celebrating 40 years of its existence. So team was formed in 1983, 40 years ago. Celebrating this year, so this hosting and have an honor to host amazing cup like this. It's really an honor for the team and for everybody who passed through the team in the last 40 years in order for this beautiful facility to be here, and in order for all these players for many generations to play on a beautiful field. I have to say that all the players here in Karlovac are amateurs, so they do have a job, or they go to the college, or some of them go to school. Like we have the youngest, Bartol Bosanac, who is just 16 years old, playing the second base. But strike 3 out, pretty good borderline pitch. Phil didn't think so, but the umpire had a pretty good view, make a call. Strike 3 out, second out. Now batting number 16, the player coach, Bobo Gales. Nice swing by Bobo. Lefty, who plays outfield, plays first base, used to pitch when he was younger. He's, I think, 36 years old. Also a great teammate now, serving as a player coach, which is always a tough position to be in. Because besides taking care of yourself at bat and things, you gotta think about the game, and obviously he talks about the game and what he wants to do before the game to the third base and first base coaches, but it's not gonna be strange if you see him giving signs during at bat if he wants something to be implemented, or just maybe decoying the defense with it. But tough position, definitely. In my personal opinion, catcher is the toughest position to be on the field as far as defensively, because it's just you get beat up, and if pitcher throws in dirt, you're supposed to block the ball like the catcher did right here. Pretty good job keeping the ball in front. toughest position is catcher, but being a coach player has for sure its difficulties. Bobo is the standard national team players for more than 20 years. He debuted when he was 16 years old, and ever since then he was a starter and a heart of soul of a national team, and maybe, but in my opinion, the best player to be born in Croatia, so the best player from this area so far. So really good left-handed hitters, has pop to the right field, really good awareness of a strike zone and a bad discipline. You rarely see him chase the ball far out of the zone. And he takes a walk, 2-out walks, Slobodan Gales. Next up, Jorman Alcala, like we said, another Venezuelan player, he playing in his second season here. Jorman is a shortstop and a catcher, a speedy player with good bat control. More a double guy, single double guy, but occasionally, he will drive the ball, and he has enough muscles, or maybe the bat speed, we should say, to put it over the fence. Bobo faking. It's going to be interesting. Olimpija played really aggressive baseball with a lot of stealing, a lot of small ball, a lot of bunts happening, hitter runs, and as far as in the Croatian league, and we see if they're going to carry over that into this game as well. It looked kind of low away from here, but the umpire always has a final call with no replays here. Whatever umpires call, that's going to be the final call. So anyways, Ken argues rights and balls. Good take by Jorman. Like I said, Olimpija Karlovac celebrating 40 years of existing since 1983. The team is present here, so the team is in this part, in let's say eastern part and of Europe and Balkans, by far the best team since 1993 when they played the first European Cup. I believe that the Olimpija played on some 27 European Cups, winning the European Cups twice. First one was SIBA European Cup, won. That was happening in Spain. It was a big win and really a great recognition by a long work of Olimpija Karlovac, and that's maybe a biggest trophy that the team has. Another European Cup was 2021 Federation Cup, like I mentioned, when Olimpija beat Vienna Wanderers 3 times during that cup and won the Federation Cup and actually moved up for the country. Here comes the steal. Swing, let's see. Yeah, a tough job, but Gales got caught in a round down, a rare running mistake by Bobo Gales. Let's see, he's staying in a rundown, but really good execution by Vienna Wanderers. They always say that you need 2 throws to get an out in a rundown, which is true, but at the end of the day, if you get an out, that's what it counts, especially on the 2 strikes like that. So Olimpija had the first base runner, had a chance to have first and second with maybe drive in the first run of the game, but actually it was a good decision by the infield of Vienna Wanderers, who kind of faked the throw and kind of stole off and faked off Gales, who then ran over the second base, and then it was easy catch for Vienna Wanderers. So, like I said, Olimpija is a true champion of this area of Europe. The team that's been present, heavily present in Europe. The baseball program that it's well known, not just in Europe but in United States as well. A lot of players from Olimpija went to play in European teams. some of them went to the college, and Olimpija itself was many times guest on the tournaments in United States, and there is always good connections with good friends in the Georgia area, Atlanta area, especially the Miles family. That really organize great tours for us, and then we have really great friends in Texas, in Houston, Texas, that are helping here baseball in Croatia for last 7 years with equipment, advice. Really helped us kicked off the little league in this country. So a lot of good friends in New York area, Las Vegas area. Ohio is a special area where traditionally for now over 30 years we have a good exchange of talents between Ohio, Canton area, and Karlovac area. So we're starting off top of the second inning. Carlos Garcia is looking good so far. There are innings where Carlos Garcia will have trouble with the control. We'll see if he's gonna settle down here and be efficient like he knows. Two and two count. In the past, if you look at Carlos Garcia's stats, it was a lot of 3 and 2 counts. A lot of 3 and 2 counts that would run up his pitch count, and then he would just end up with a strikeout like this, or base and ball, and that would kind of usually leave him in a game until 5th inning, 6th inning. He would be already over 100 and some pitches. But last season, and especially this season, he managed to keep his pitches really down, which extended his stay in a game, which is here in European baseball really necessary. They're not really specialized bullpen guys that like you see in a major league on a college. European baseball, it's a little bit different. It has its own traditional things, and especially if you're a foreigner here, they expect you to go 9 and not to give up more than 2, and maximum 1 earned run. Yeah, of course, I'm just kidding, but yeah, expectations are always high over foreigners, because there are sometimes, or most of the times I should say, they're the only players on the field who are getting paid. So there's always the hometown players then expect a perfect performance from the foreigners, which can be a challenging for some, especially younger kids coming out of the college and really coming to out of the United States, let's say, for the first time. It can be really a hard growing pain experience for them to jump into those shoes. Another strikeout by Carlos Garcia. He looks like he's dealing, and it's not his full speed for sure. Looks like he's just using 85% of his effort, but his strikes are low. He's changing the speed real well, and so far none of the players from Vienna Wanderers actually was on him. Another good first pitch strike. There is huge difference if you start a batter with their first pitch strike in batting average, and it goes to some 250 points in between. Those are, of course, major league stats. European stats might be a little bit different, but yeah, we don't have stats here so much in depth like they are in the United States or elsewhere in professional leagues. But these European tournaments, they happen once a year. It's usually beginning of June, middle of June, and it's they're fun. They're their most fun part of the season. You're actually playing international, playing against teams around Europe, depending, of course, who qualify. Not every team can qualify. Just first top 2 teams out of the leagues, each European league, are able to enter in these European tournaments. And even some leagues that don't have a high rating or don't have a team that it's actually playing on a high level have to go through rough qualifiers, and it takes a couple of years if you start from the scratch for the team to play good, win the championship in their own home country in order to qualify for European tournaments like this. So those are not invitational tournaments. It more works like in soccer. Maybe for United States area it's a little bit strange, but for Europe that's how the sport works. If you're champion in your country, national champion or second, you're able to play these European Cups. Carlos Garcia, first walk and a first base runner by Vienna Wanderers. This was Hiro Sakanashi, had a walk. Next up, Christopher Hoscher, if I'm right. They did not really give me the numbers from the scorecard, and I'm looking at the World Baseball Softball Confederation stats. There are no numbers, so I might have a problem locating who is who. Foul ball, runner on first. Left-handed pitcher Carlos Garcia. He's got a good move for a lefty. Let's see if Vienna will try to take advantage, try to steal second base. Are they going to be playing aggressive or not? Another ball. Carlos Garcia in a little bit of a problem. Teammates yelling support that they got him, but 2-2 count. Yeah, here goes the runner, and a good hit, but it's going to be foul ball. That was definitely a trouble because the runner was taking off, the batter was swinging. By the time the ball was hit, runner was already 2/3 way to the second base, and the way the ball was going, it would end up in a fence and would be a run, but it's just would be, could be so far. Good pitch, but also a good protection by the batter, staying alive, fouling off a tough pitch. That's what, as a batter, you should do. Try to hang in there as much as you can, foul off tough pitches, and hopefully get a good one that you can drive somewhere. There's always advantage to the batter. The more pitches he sees in the at-bat, the more comfortable he feels. And we'll see if this at-bat will make a difference. For Christoph Hoschner. Just a bit high, but taking that some of the pitches were called strike, who were in the bottom part of the zone. Maybe that is the high ball. Good pitch, but another good foul ball, battling off tough pitches. It's already a good at bat, we say, even if he strikes out or grounds out or something. It's a way when you run off the field and you feel good about yourself, because you've seen a lot of pitches and you know that you're on the pitcher, and then your confidence for the next at bat grows really big. See again, runner going. It's gonna be looped over the infield for a base hit. He's just gonna move the runner to second base, and first and second for Vienna Wanderers. And first chance for Vienna to actually cash in and score the run. The shortstop Herschel Fabian is now at bat. Again, first pitch strike by Garcia. So far, really good on the first pitch strikes. So 7 teams here are competing in Karlovac. In the morning games, the Spanish teams were doing good. The Spanish team beat the Belgium team 5-3. That's the group that Olimpija and Vienna Wanderers are in. And another Spanish team for Tenerife. There is a pickoff from the catcher. Good try, good communication between catcher and first baseman, Petar Rumora and Phil Goodsmith. Good cover by Sven Anic, a young player born in 2005 in October, but with the age and his experience, he looks like he's been playing baseball for some years now. So Carlos Garcia, this is his 76th game for Olimpija Karlovac. Like I said, he's been here for I think 4 seasons or 5 seasons, but one was a COVID season, so he kind of got stuck in Venezuela and really did not play much that season. But really good addition to the Olimpija roster, and not just a great pitcher, but he proved he could hit as well. So another 0, and może. Petar Rumora will lead off Olympia's second attempt to score a run. Petar Rumora lives in New York, originally the Croatian kid from Island Pag. His parent Tomislav Rumora and his whole family lives on a beautiful island of Pag on the Croatian coast. For you who may not know about Croatia, Google Croatia. Really a beautiful, beautiful country. Small country, but a lot of diversity as far as the beautiful coastline, beautiful mountains and inland. Really, in a 5-hour drive, you can see such a amazing nature. Ground ball to shortstop. Good throw by a shortstop and a first out. So Petar Rumora joined the team 2 years ago and joined the national team, Croatian national team as well. Was a big part of success that the Croatian national team had on the last European Championship, which was 2 years ago in Italy, where Croatia reached the quarterfinals and lost in the quarterfinals 8-5 to the host country of Italy. who was managed by Mike Piazza. It was a great game. Croatia was in there in that game and showed some really big big moments where actually Mike Piazza took his time and went after that game, and congratulate to Croatia. I need to quote him. He says, "You guys have balls of steel." So it was maybe the best compliment that the Croatian program had. Have a compliment like that from a Hall of Famer really means a lot to those kids who are, like I said, all amateur and just play baseball because they love baseball. As Pavel Karin, who is DH today, strikes out. Pavel Karin is a good pitcher, a starting pitcher for Olimpija, a homegrown player. Uh, Also played for the national team, play internationally a couple of years ago in Austrian league. He had 4 years ago the most notable pitching performance by a Croatian-born player against Italian national team when he was holding Italian national team of nine innings, 9 donuts. What amazing performance that was by Pavel Karin and Phil Smith, who was catching that game. Uh, Croatia at the end lost in extra inning, 1-0. But yeah, it was one of the most amazing games I've ever seen pitched. Pave, not overpowering pitcher. I mean, he's hitting 80s with his fastball, but just a crafty lefty. Well, Jamie Moyer type of a pitcher, I might say. You know, changes speed a lot, but also has a funky delivery that throws off a lot of runners. Benjamin Paulic hit over the middle, but good play by the shortstop of Vienna Wanderers and records the third out. So another inning without Olimpija reaching the base. Homegrown player, a college kid, just started his freshman year in here in college, college in Zagreb. Homegrown player, played baseball since he's 6, so amazing kid really, that a great teammate, likes to help out with everything. It's already helping out coaching and a lot of he's a technical guy, so he's learning a lot about mechanics, and he's being able to transfer that to the kids, but as well as love for the game. He just loves to be here, and then you're gonna see him working, be first on the field, working on the field, taking care of the field, whatever you need. He's gonna jump, get the new balls if needed. Uh, like I said, great teammate, and I played for years for Olimpija Karlovac, so most of those guys I know by heart. So it's a pretty amazing crowd in a pretty amazing team. It's a mixture of older guys and youth guys who really love baseball, and it's such a such a great experience for those kids to have these older players stuck around and transfer the experience that got. So, and if they love it, and well, they stay here because they love it. They don't stay here because they're gonna turn pro one day, or they're thinking to make the money. They're here purely because they love game of baseball, love playing baseball, love sports, love to compete, love their hometown, and then it's a pure joy to be on a field with the crowd like that. It's pure baseball itself. I'm sure it's the same way in Austria and in most European countries, maybe just the top countries like Spain, Netherlands, Italy, Germany, have players who are maybe more professional. And we've all seen what Czech Republic did this year and qualified for the World Baseball Classic, and it's amazing what they did, and they're really the jewel of the Europe. They did it all that with their homegrown players, so all Czech players, no imports. Uh, when I say imports, I mean a foreign guys getting citizenship just to play baseball. So all Czech guys who just your regular guys who work and go to practice and love baseball, and to accomplish something like that, to play against Japan like they did, and Shoya Otani showing respect, showing up in Czech Republic hat was a really amazing sight, and really warmed my heart up because I know how much they invest last 30 years in working with the kids and working the baseball. As Carlos Garcia continues to pound the zone, another foul ball and foul off pitch by Alexander Ressel. Strike 3, but ball was not caught, popped out of the glove, but Phil Smith took care of it to Petar Rumora for the out. Now the top of the lineup with the lead of Lastinger Andreas. Hard hit ball to outfield. It's gonna go, no. Kevin Volerich was able to cut it off. Good play to keep the runner at first base. One out, one on. Batting Lacayo Jerry. Is it Lacayo Jerry? Oh, wild pitch gets away by catcher. Bad communication. Is runner gonna take third? Yes, he's gonna take advantage of it and put himself in a really great position. Great base running by Vienna Wanderers. Picked up the ball right away, like we are always taught. See the ball in the dirt. He anticipated the ball in the dirt, took an extra step, took off right away, and there was no really good communication between Olimpija pitcher and a catcher, and Vienna Wanderers are able to take a third base, and now they're in really good position to take a lead in the top of the third inning. One out, so the way it's played, the weak ground ball to the shortstop or second base will score the runner. A deeper fly ball will score the runner. And let's see if Vienna Wanderers can deliver and take a lead in this game. I say good take. It was a good take. It was outside. And base hit through the middle, and Vienna Wanderers are up on a board. First on the board, 1-0. A great RBI hit by Jerry Lacayo. Next batting is Dominic Talir. One down. Let's see how Vienna Wanderers will take this after taking the lead. Are they gonna feel the courage and continue to run? Good pitch again. First pitch strike by Carlos Garcia, and hitters are recognizing that and swinging at the first pitch. Aggressive baseball. We like that. Ball inside. Line drive directly to second baseman Bartol Basarec catches it and no! Almost double play. It was a good play. Looked like a double play, but really good comeback and good recognition by the runner on first base. You should freeze, always freeze on a line drive. Take a step if you can on a line drive. He was there, almost got caught in between, but was able to slide head first and return to the base. But anyways, 2 out. Strike, another first pitch strike. George Stammer is now batting. Let's see the Stammer. 51 at bats this year, average 235. 1 home run. More of a single guy. 15 strikeouts and 10 base and balls. The stats I'm reading, that's from the Austrian League, available on the Austrian Baseball Federation site. Just so we get idea who the players are. It's really tough to pick up in a tournament like that. You know, somebody might have just a bad week, or somebody has excellent week, and which can be misleading. So it's always good to look at the stats, what they're doing overall this season. Of course, for those federations who do the stats, Croatian is not one. Carlos Garcia used the hand to stop that ball, which is a big no-no if you're a pitcher. Watch out for your fingers, but he stopped the ball for a third strike and a third out, and 1-0 after top of the third inning. We're gonna keep a tradition here, and we'll try to get as much guests as we can to co-host with me for this game. And today's guest that's gonna join us in an inning or so, it's gonna be David Moss, a great friend, a great brother of a baseball brother. Leader of a non-profit organization, His Print, that really does amazing job in Croatia, helping the people in need, and also collecting equipment, all kind of sport equipment. Among that, the baseball and football maybe being the best. So collecting those equipment and shipping it all around the world, actually around the Europe, but even some shipments are going to Africa. So we're gonna have David Moss join us for an inning in our Svako Gosta inning dosta, which in Croatian means every guest we can handle for 1 inning. So 1 inning is enough for every guest. That's what it says. We'll try to keep it in the inning, but if conversation is gonna be good, of course we're gonna extend. We're not bound by any boundaries here. So stay tuned. As Bartol Bosanac, the youngest player on the field, takes at bat, and this is his first international at bat. Big stage for a young kid, also a son of our ex-player Tomislav Bosanac, who left his mark in this team, and he slaps just a ball to the second base, and quick Bosanac really hustling out, doing maximum what he can, put the ball on the ground and hustle it out, which is always good to see, especially young players understanding what they need to do and really hustling the ball out. Now batting Sven Anic, another young player, born 2005, Bartol born 2006, but Sven Anic is a member of junior national team, and really a good batter who can bunt and really who can steal the bases. Really fast player and an exciting player to watch, especially when he's on the bases. Was maybe bunt attempt that got pulled, and now another strike. So 2 strikes, 1 ball for Svenanic. Foul ball. A speedy outfielder who pitches as well, so he's able to come in as a reliever and hold on any kind of offense for a couple of innings. It's hard to be a two-position player, especially pitcher and something else. It needs a lot of practice, which for Sven, who is still going to school or just to finish school, a school year, it can be tough. Strike 3 out for Sven, and that's the 9th batter of the lineup. So we're gonna turn it off back to Kevin Volaric, the leadoff for Olimpija Karlovac. 1-0 for Vienna Wanderers. Like I said, this is the 7th time that the Karlovac and Vienna Wanderers are facing off in the European Cups. Or I'm sorry, 8 times. 8 times. 6 times Olimpija was better, and one game was won by Vienna Wanderers. Like I predicted, kind of even game. That it's gonna be even game. The two teams look like they're gonna be battling for every inch of the diamond, so every run is gonna matter in this game. So far, Vienna is on top. Good pitching performance by both of the teams. Just one miscommunication of Olimpija defense on a wild pitch was enough for a runner from Vienna Wanderers to go from first to third on a wild pitch, which is not really a usual thing, even with this backstop being here. It shouldn't be, but there was a miscommunication, so runner ended up on third, and then with a base hit was able to score. Two outs. Good stop by the catcher. It's 2 strikes, so he's making sure he blocks every ball. So far, the catcher of Vienna Wanderers, Lacayo Jerry, really did a great job. Speedy Kevin, it's gonna be easy out. Third out, and end of the third inning. 1-0 Vienna Wanderers. You've seen number 36 walk by. This is Dario Latkovic, really a coach, a player for Olimpija team. Played 600 games for Olimpija, even 600 games, which is fourth most by any player. Out of active players, Bobo Gales, the center fielder, he's behind him 6 games, so 594 games by Bobo Gales, behind Dario Latkovic. But Dario Latkovic, great career as a catcher, national team catcher, and really started working with the kids last 6-7 years, and last 2 years specialized in working with the catchers and strength and conditioning, and a great addition to the Karlovac baseball program, and it's really able to empower a lot of kids to stay in baseball, to stay in sports. So yeah, really good coaching staff as well that it's forming around Karlovac baseball, and that's why this program has been successful for so many years. 45 trophies actually Olimpija won in 40 years of its existence. So this is pretty impressive number that's in Croatia and in Europe as well. So pretty impressive number. 18 times Olimpija Karlovac was Croatian champion. 18 times won the Croatian Cup, 1 SIBA Cup, 1 Federation Cup, and 7 interleague championships. Olimpija won. Just for the viewers who don't know about interleague, it's European countries with a smaller baseball program like it's Croatia and Slovenia and Serbia and Hungary. So those are neighboring countries that actually form the interleague, where top 2-3 teams from each league play the interleague play, and it's outside of federation competition, and it's separate competition, but usually this competition can be even better than the national leagues. Unfortunately, this year it's not the case, where only actually a few teams participated, as Carlos Garcia continues with really impressive pitching performance. Another strikeout by Carlos Garcia. So Interleague for years hosted the best teams from this area, but last 2 years since COVID, the league kind of was on hold, and last 2 years did not really top teams from Croatia and from around Europe were not competing in that team. So this year Croatia started a different story, adding one top Slovenian team into the Croatian league as an open Croatian championship, they call it. So it's been interesting to add another team into the brackets and travel to another country, Ljubljana in Slovenia, which is a neighboring country to Croatia, but really on a good field and a good baseball program as well. Broken bat. Back to Carlos Garcia. Nice flip to Pero Rumora for second out. Not many hard hit balls against Carlos Garcia. Good pitching performance. You'll see Olimpija wearing Kelly green and gold colors, and it's a retro set of uniforms for Olimpija Karlovac. Traditionally, Olimpija Karlovac is a navy blue, but when the team was formed in 1983, the only uniforms they could got is from the hockey team. What hockey team had as leftovers, and they were green and yellow, which are traditional Karlovac colors, So out of respect of old team, and it was called Turbine, where pretty much team had nothing, had no field, had 5 baseballs, 9 gloves, and 1 bat, and 1 helmet. So it was always a problem if somebody reached the base, you had to borrow. Swing and a miss, ball gets away from Phil Smith, kind of unusual. The players are yelling for foul ball. Let's see if they're gonna appeal it to the umpire. The home plate umpire shaking head, calling time. Let's see if he's gonna get a help from anybody, but as far as the hearing and seeing the play, he had the best view. He was the closest to the play, so I guess he made it right. But to get back to the Olimpija Karlovac uniforms, and like I said, traditional color navy blue, but this is the retro style colors, and it was just a nice gesture, because there were players who played in first couple of years that didn't even have a uniform. So this was nice respect and nice, let's say, a whole circle that the team did. One team is now doing better, doing good, and growing, that are able to make the uniforms like that team would have in those years. And as a replica, the Oakland Athletics Kelly green and a gold was used, and a really beautiful set of the uniforms that goes with a green hat as well, and really beautifully done by SSK Europe. and Alex Speakerman Sport Gliding, who is a great friend of Karlovac baseball, helps a lot, donates a lot of equipment to the good cause, to the Croatian baseball. So also this way, really big thanks to SSK Europe for sponsoring our team for many years. We're able to get equipment fast. But we're always buying equipment, but donations that we get from them and donations that go to the kids and for development of the baseball are really substantial and something worth mentioning. I mean, baseball in Europe, especially in eastern parts, really relies a lot on a fundraiser, a local municipality and community to support their own team, and it's hard to get sponsors in baseball. Baseball is traditionally a smaller sport in the countries like Croatia, with soccer, basketball, and team handball being one. Strikeout by Carlos Garcia. Another great inning by Carlos Garcia, and another 0 on a board. Bottom of the fourth inning. Phil Smith batting. Let's see if Olimpija can get that run back that Vienna scored in the third inning. Interesting game so far. A lot of good pitching, strong defense, basically no errors, but that wild pitch and miscommunication of Olimpija, which led to the only run of the game when runner was able to go from first to third. Phil Smith going after the high fastball. He loves that. I mean, Phil Smith can hit bombs. We've seen him hit here in Karlovac now for 8 years, and hits one of the most iconic home runs there. As you see a setup of the field here in Karlovac, you have a railroad going beyond the outfield fence, and not this time as Phil Smith strikes out, but many times Phil Smith was able to reach those tracks, and he was one of the first players. It was on one of the Europa Cup a couple of years ago that was able actually in the game to reach the tracks, and I think the ball bounced and went over the tracks, and then after that I think a Swedish player hit actually the balls over the railroad, which is amazing because a lot of teams like Dutch Neptunus were here swinging with aluminum bats, and there were players on BP that were hitting over the railroads, but it's none of them have been able to hit even with the aluminum bat over the railroad. So it is a nice shot, and it's just to hit home run like that, it's iconic. It's kind of a dream come true, you know. You hit it over the train. We're still waiting for somebody to hit the ball and actually hit the train as a train is passing by, and Olimpija has been this on this field since 1989. Before that, they were managing to play baseball basically in the local parks in town, keeping the game alive. And once Olimpija got their own field and was able actually to build, and a lot of things that you see here are just a work of volunteer hands. So a lot of these things and why this field is beautiful. A lot of additions were done by players and volunteers, parents who are around the team, and that's why people here take special pride in this field. And really a nice indoor with two batting cages that actually enable team to practice during night and during any time. The lights are put up for the infield, so it's always a problematic, especially with the schools here in Croatia being in two shifts, morning and afternoon. It's hard to have teams and kids on practice, and only way you can do it is maybe 7 p.m., 8 p.m. But by that time it's already dark, and well, this actually enabled the team to do more with the kids and try to expand its program as much as possible. Jorman Alcala, the shortstop of Olimpija, who had really a bad start of a season. He was really good the last season, his first season here in Croatia, actually first season out of the Venezuela. Really did a good job, played good shortstop, was unbelievable at catching position, really was able to hit for a power, a lot of clutch hits as he fouls balls to the left field. This year he's kind of started out slow, but was hitting up the last 4 or 5 games, was able to have multi-hit games, and we'll see if this good last couple of games in the Croatian league will actually carry over to this European Cup. Swings, but just a high pop-up. Yes, there was a lot of balls like that. I would say unproductive outs by Jorman Alcala for the third out, and after fourth inning, Vienna Wanderers are in control, 1-0.
No, I don't know. I can't hear myself like
And we're back. Just going back, I said we're gonna have we'll try to have a cool guest here during our broadcast. And first guest of the day is foul ball. Not the guest is foul ball, but foul ball by a player. It's David Moss, a great friend and brother by choice. David is a head man of a head guy, I would say, for the Hit Sprint organization that does so many good things in Croatia for helping the people in need, and also collecting all kind of sports equipment and donating. And I met David 2016, was great help up to our program. And David, it's really great to see you again, and great to have you here.
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Good to be back on Croatian soil, my second home.
Your second home, yeah, like you always said. It's tell us about how you choose Croatia, how you come to Croatia, why?
Well, it's one of those things where God opened the door, and I was a baseball coach in college for strikeout.
Yes, the strikeout. Carlos Garcia continues to dominate and pound the zone.
Throwing the ball well.
He's throwing the ball well, yeah.
So I was a baseball coach in college for several years, 15, 16, and owned my own baseball academy, and knew there was something else I could do, and found this guy who'd been coming here to Croatia for several years and said something about it. I said, well, I don't know where it is or how to spell it, but I'll go. And that was in 2006, and been every year until COVID or whatever.
COVID, yeah. COVID, yeah.
And it's been a blessing and an opportunity to help those who are in need, and to do things that otherwise they may not be able to do, for baseball and American football and hockey. And so
it's amazing things that you do. Like, it's mostly as far as the equipment. I know there's everybody's exciting when a big container is coming in, and it's always mostly baseball and American football equipment. And it's really, I know from our side, and you'll be there since start of Little League Croatia, and actually
that's a real blessing watching that the dream come alive. And I remember
hit by pitch, huh?
Hit by pitch.
Yeah,
he took it for the team.
He took it from him. We could hear it here. I don't know if it has strong bones or he actually has a protection, but it.
I hope it was a protection.
Yeah.
If it's not, we gotta get an ambulance.
Yeah, I think it's a protection. Otherwise, yeah, if bone was hurt like that, it would be amazing.
It sounded more like a bat.
Bat, yeah. The technical guy is saying that you need to keep the microphone here closer. Yeah, we this is our if you're breathing in a microphone, it's gonna be okay. I don't think people will mind. So traditionally, we'll do the selfie. So later on, we can kind of show people what microphone you are using.
Oh, we're not on television.
We're not. We don't have camera pointing our ways, but we actually do have 3 cameras, Tomislav, working. So actually, we did a nice setup. Yeah,
very neat.
But yeah, we said Croatia Little League. It's been dream for you for years.
I remember
and
Steve Kleiner. I met with him, the president of Croatia or of Little League International, and in Williamsport in 2008. I was telling him, man, that would be really neat to be able to. So he gave me a charter back then, and to see it now come to fruition, and you guys now taking it to the hilt. It's really neat.
It was 2016, when actually we did talk with Beata, and then actually we met up, or maybe, at that time we met up, and then it was February maybe, and says, what you can do to help us out. And
came to his house, and we had a meeting setting up there in the upper room. Yeah, I remember that quite well.
So, but beside you mentioned his house as well. Beside just donating and actually going to the people, to the people's houses, and I mean some of the amazing things you do. I mean, you did the one thing I've seen is you did the darts for the blind people, which is amazing. Actually, that you're reaching to kind of that part of people in society who are kind of pushed aside in many of society.
Not thought of, a lot of times forgotten. Yeah.
Actually, bring up the joy to those people. It's really amazing to see. But
anytime we have an opportunity, we look for that opportunity, and when people offer it to us, we're going to take it, and just to go love on them. Our whole motto is love people where they are and love them until they ask why. And through that, we have a chance, whether it's on a baseball field or American football field or throwing darts with Blind Association or wherever. It's going to an orphanage and doing a children's program and reading English books. Yesterday, I spent 4.5 hours at a junior high or elementary school teaching baseball class. I thought I was going for a lecture, and I ended up teaching 4.5 hours of gym class. But I'm not that young anymore, but still love it.
Hey, you look young. I don't know how you feel, but
I appreciate it, especially on the radio. Everybody looks young.
Oh yeah, I got beautiful long hair going to. But yeah, really, such a blessing what you did, and really what you do for our baseball program, and it's amazing. And you've been your hometown, let's say in Croatia, is town of Sisak, and actually you're a big part of rebuilding, I would say, the field there, right? It was actually it has a sign from the field of weeds to the field of dreams, right?
Yep. Field of weeds to field of dreams to field of faith.
Yeah.
And watching that develop, it's still a field of weeds, but we cut it. We mow it, and it actually is flat, and it has a surface which is an actual baseball field. So, just that dream of opportunity to, it's like I'm sitting here and observing how many youth can see a ball field, and to see the game actually being played on a baseball field instead of a corner of a soccer field, or something like that. Or and so the neat thing here is that you have an audience that's, I don't know how many thousands of people are living right around here, and that's the one sad thing about Sisak is it's not by any.
Yeah, it's a little bit outside of town, so it's really a hustle for them to get the kids. And I mean, they're doing a good job, and they're always bringing the new kids in.
For sure.
It's always tough to kind of make a program longer. I mean, to have enough players to actually go to the senior level.
Right. And you're always going to get gaps, and that's the hard part when you don't have the volunteers, you don't have the people who
it's a pretty good throw by Sven Anic to right field. We kind of put a little bit of game offside, but
tag up at second, and beautiful throw, but not in time.
Take it away, man. You're doing a really good job, man. What do we have? It's a 2 outs or 1 out? 2 outs? I think there was first and second, so it was a fly ball that moved the runner to third. Now it's a first and third for Vienna Wanderers, and let me check. I think it should be 2 outs. Carlos Garcia ran into a little bit of a problem, but let's see if he can get away from this inning as well without a run.
Yeah, first and third, that's always a tricky situation.
Yeah. Let's see if they're going to do some kind of a play, a special play.
High and tight.
High and tight. It was pretty good, actually, first couple of innings, throwing a first pitch strike, which is really important. And really changes the at-bat. It's amazing.
It sure does. It puts everybody attuned to what's going on instead of getting back on your heels. There's a nice curveball right inside.
Great breaking ball, really good arsenal of pitching he has. He has a good fastball, breaking ball, and a split finger as well. So good arsenal of pitches, and he's pretty dominant in the Croatian league and so far in this game. Although the one run got scored, he's been able to
doing
keep
a great job of keeping the runners close at first too.
Yeah,
because first and third, that's usually a pretty much given that he's going to take off, but he keeps them so attuned to what's going on, where sometimes pitchers don't. They concentrate only on one spot.
Yeah, especially from leftists, you got to say. And talking
Mm.
about the leftists, there was it a rumor on the past or what is the real thing? So Sisak Storks, it's a home, it's a team in Sisak that's called Sisak Storks. And at the time when they had the senior team, there was a rumor that on their roster, Andy Pettit, Alex Bergman, and names like that showed up.
Andy
Is that
Pettit?
true? Yeah, is that true?
No, they actually gave a talk by video.
Because
it was like I'm doing right now. They were not in uniform and they were not on the roster.
It was a rumor that, and it was amazing, Andy Pettit, of course, and the names they mentioned. And I mean, for that case, any major leaguer, but even to mention those names in a major league, and it's amazing. And I know that they are. Support your program, or them personally, but they're
Lance played my last year coaching at Rice University. Lance came on the team, and so had a relationship with Lance, and he worked for me for baseball camps because I did baseball camps there for Rice for many years. And so those players who weren't quite old enough to go play off in the Cape Cod and other leagues would stay behind and have to work for Coach Moss in the baseball camp. So got to know Lance, and good relationship with him, and he obviously had a great relationship with Andy Pettit from his time when he was with the Yankees. So they both have a strong faith in the Lord, and so through that they developed a great friendship. So when Andy came to play with the Astros, they even developed an even stronger relationship. So.
Maybe I mentioned before, but you're a Texan guy from
Houston, just
a
south
big,
of Houston,
strong Texan guy.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything
even
is
me.
bigger.
I was telling someone just today that baseball is the only sport in which coaches still wear a uniform. And when I go speak at events, I tell them, you know what? There needs to be a rule, because sometimes when you shouldn't be wearing a uniform anymore. When you got something that looks like this, it looks like a barrel in front of you. So I know when to stop.
Hey, that's experience called around here. This is the experience we call it.
Amen. Amen. Oh, bigger belly, more experience.
More experience.
Hey,
yeah.
look at that. I'm pretty experienced.
Pretty
I didn't realize
experienced.
that. Jeez, I got to take this back home. That's never been said in America.
But lately, there's a new shipment coming in. I know you talk with.
Well, one of the problems we're having right now is that back home we don't have a warehouse. We lost our warehouse to the flood, and as a result, we have our equipment in different locations. 11 to be as a fact, and so we have thousands and thousands of pounds ready to be shipped to 16 different locations. One of them here to be able to.
Distribute around.
Yeah,
I know that just the other day the president of Croatian Baseball Association, Aldo Vavra, and Kruno Karin, who is president of the world, came out to warehouse in Sisak to check out the equipment and
wanting to
it
ship
was,
that to
3-2,
Africa.
Yeah, to Africa. As a 3-2 count and walk by Carlos Garcia. Yes, like I mentioned, he does have innings where he can run in control problems, and before he was, I would swear, 70% of his at-bats were like 3 and 2 counts, and like this one today. So actually, there was a couple, maybe a questionable calls that he would like that it went his way. It didn't, but so he really didn't compose. That never happens, yeah. But that time you gotta compose yourself, especially with the bases loaded, not to lose your cool, because this can be a 1 or 2 run game actually that makes difference.
Or it could get out of hand.
Or it can get out of hand pretty quickly with one swing right here, and it's it can look a little bit
lefty on lefty here.
Lefty on lefty, yeah. Now suddenly the borderline pitches do not kind of fall into strike category anymore.
Well, that's one of the things that happens when you start throwing balls. The umpire actually gets lulled to sleep as well.
Yeah.
Need to be on top of it. There's a nice
it's right
pitch
here.
down
Yeah. Finding the zone right here. So, but actually, what you did, we mentioned, and you're actually planning to make a shipment somewhere to Africa.
Yeah, to help out there. I think Kenya.
Yeah.
And there, it's kind of like here. If you can get it to one location, a lot of times you can get it. There's a pop fly.
Just a lazy pop fly, yes.
Shortstop.
And shortstop, Yorman Alcala for a third out, just 1 run.
Yeah, it could have got a lot worse with bases loaded in that position. So
yes. It was actually a good getaway after a couple of walks, and Carlos was able to compose himself and get an out, and let's see if Olimpija in the 5th inning will be able to do something. But yeah, you mentioned Kenya and actually shipping the equipment in Kenya. It's amazing. You look through the Facebook now. It's with world being global village. But I really do have most respect for those kids there. You were right. You were in Kenya or something?
No, I was in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. So and the pictures that you had, and there was a catcher actually catching with no shoes, just a barefooted catcher. It's just.
And then went running into the briars on a foul ball to make sure he found it, and I just couldn't believe it. Well, then I actually that's a neat story. Is that I sent that picture to Lance, and I was standing from behind the catcher. And took the picture, and he wrote me back almost immediately. He said, "Oh, shoeless Joe Jackson in left field," and I had to blow the picture up, and the left fielder had no shoes. Yeah. And then I looked closer. I said, "Wait a second, the shortstop doesn't either." So it's shoeless Joe Teen. But yeah, we were in Nigeria in 2018.
So it's a shoeless day, huh? They're like,
you know what? They love the game. And,
for
a catcher to do that, that's crazy. But
It's
they
amazing
love
in
the game.
conditions what they do, and it's similar to Venezuela when we see, and we have Europe. Just in the last 10 years, a lot of players come from Venezuela, and when you see their hometowns
Yeah.
and on the fields that they play, then
Latin America, been in
yes,
the Dominican Republic as well.
yes. So it's
And,
great to see that actually those kids kind of get away from there and are able to find a happy home elsewhere in Europe or elsewhere in the world. And
Well, when you learn to play ball on a field like they play, with the
Yeah.
equipment that they play
Yeah.
and the dedication they have,
yeah.
if they've got some athletic ability, they're going to find a home, and that's neat to see.
Yeah, need to see. They actually had, again, I followed. I think it was from Kenya at that time. They had somebody going in a minor league, and it was actually had the first at bat. So
Right.
it's just an amazing job by, what they're doing there.
Yeah,
So
provides hope, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you look at anything
Yeah.
on this earth that can provide you hope, and it might be ball, might be
Yeah.
baseball, might be football, might be bat. Who knows what it is?
Yeah.
But when you have that hope and you work towards that, and who knows, one person gets that dream and that catches on. Like this was a dream, right?
Yeah.
At one time, and
At
now
one
you guys
time it
for
was,
35 or whatever years
yeah,
you've
yeah.
been doing it, and now look, a
Yeah.
beautiful ball field. You'd think you're in Midwest.
Yeah, well,
what as
89,
nice it is.
yes, when we came here
Was that
and
right?
actually built it by our own hands, and a lot of rocks had to be put out,
That's
put our
exactly
own
right.
fences and everything, and then in 1996, actually, the city of Karlovac built it, these stands that we're sitting on right now, and a backstop and a diamond, and after that, all the additions that you see, the refugee houses that we
Yeah.
turn into the clubhouse and weightlifting room.
There's
As
a base
Petar
hit.
Rumara base hit, and well, maybe
Past
Olimpija
the
is onto
diving
something.
shortstop.
Yes,
Very nice.
yeah, very nice. And we have Pavel Karin now batting after Pero Rumora. Pero Rumora is another great example of a lot of people are leaving Croatia, also trying to find better life elsewhere in Europe, especially since Croatia joined the European Union. There is a lot of good stories going back, like Americans moving into Croatia,
Yeah.
actually living here. And Petar Rumora, he has a heritage. His father is born on island Pag, and they have a house there and everything.
I'm
so
heading to Pog here in a couple of days. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a good time. It's
Yeah,
beautiful
for
weather down there,
Yeah.
and the sea's warm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really
Yeah.
hope you enjoy yourself. So we'll see. The
Well-
pitcher ran a little bit of trouble, and we'll
Yep.
see if Olimpia can actually turn around and cut the lead in half, or maybe tie the game. And we'll see. Pavel, a left-handed hitter, is usually not a pull hitter. I know they're gonna pull him by heart to play him to pull. But a lot of his hard hit balls are going the other way, so he might surprise the left fielder who is playing really in. Yeah,
Even the
Yeah.
third baseman.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he's
third
playing
baseman, yeah,
4
yeah.
steps into the grass.
unless they're expecting a bunt, I would say, so which could be the case. Let's see.
Well, he
how-
showed bunt in the first at
Yeah,
bat.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, he tries to bunt for base hit, and he looks like a big guy, and you think he's one of those guys that you think that you get him, but actually he has a long steps. He's not
Well,
moving fast, but the long steps
He's
kind
long
of
steps, and
do
I
the
think
job.
he's got like 4 jointed. I mean, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a solid bone in his body. He
Yeah.
just goes.
Yeah, he's like that when he pitches as well. He's
Oh,
he's flying all over.
I
and,
think he has a joint in the middle of his
yeah.
forearm. The way that ball comes flying out
Yeah.
of his hand.
Yeah, he does a lot of problems to the hitters. So, but yeah, so yeah, we're talking about
Well,
the Africa and the equipment, and
right.
it's great that you guys.
You
again,
know, I
are
want to
doing
go
that.
back to
yeah.
what you were talking about.
Yeah.
You guys building this field with your own hands, which is what the Storks did in
Yeah.
Seesaw.
Yeah.
When you do that, you have that dedication to keep it alive, and
Yeah.
you know, through even thick and thin. And obviously, I think Corona is COVID hurt
Yes,
everybody.
hurt everybody. Hurt
Everybody
our
around the world.
program
and
for
and
sure.
all the programs. But to be able, there's a foul ball.
Yeah, foul ball. Pretty aggressive Pavel Karin, which it should be on a. That's a hitter's count.
But anytime you can help
Yeah.
someone to further the game, further the love, and for us, it's the opportunity to share love of God with them, and then use that to watch them have hope. And
Yeah.
who knows? They
Yeah.
get, first person from Kenya gets there, and there might be
Yeah.
10,
Yeah.
15 more to follow.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
Pop up.
giving
Is it
hope.
fair? No foul
Let's
ball,
see.
but
Yeah, he's
playable.
playable.
No.
Unproductive at bat, unfortunately for Olimpia.
Yeah.
And Pavel was not able to move the runner, which is, I say the least, you should be doing especially with less than 2 outs and runners on base. Unless you're an out, but you want to move the runner one or two bases
scoring
ahead.
position,
So,
especially bottom of the fifth.
Yeah. And Benjamin Paulic, Benjamin, and you met him for his batting right now for many years. Really, like I said before, great kid.
There's a lot of these kids, sitting here and doing camps and came several years ago before COVID with Bootsy and doing camp for the Little League national team. And it was just a lot of fun watching these kids grow up. It's hard to believe.
Oh, it's Petar Rumora stealing, big guy, and he's in there. Yes, the ball beat him, but the second baseman was was not able to handle the ball, so he slid actually into him and kicked the ball out, but it worked out good for Olimpija as there is a runner in scoring position, and Benjamin Paulic, who is traditionally a good contact hitter. He rarely strikes out in Croatian league. Of course, this is a different level of competition. But still, I would expect Benny to put the ball in play somewhere and maybe even drive in the run, and we'll see what Benny can do. But you've seen those kids for years on the camps, and this year you're doing, you have for 4th of July, your
Texas Carnival.
Yes, Texas Carnival.
Yeah,
it's
so July 1st in Seaside. The city allows us to do our Texas Carnival downtown, and we just do carnival games and have a little music and great time. Kids get a chance to play and congregate and get together, and we just have a good time making s'mores, which is a American delicacy.
Yes,
dessert.
We all know. We learned.
So and then we'll follow that up with Monday starting baseball camp for the Storks and kids. That's why I've been traveling around to schools to try and drum up interest. And as an American, you have a little bit more because of the English and you're from Texas. And
the kids love that. Actually, like what another program here in Croatia did, it's Vindija Varaždin. Croatia being mostly white country, it's always amazing when a black person comes in and it kind of sticks out, and the kids love them because
it's different.
The difference maybe elsewhere could be a problem. Here it's kind of a great opportunity for people to bond, and it's amazing what they did actually. And they have 2 black guys in there, and it's amazing job that they're doing. A bunch of kids talking English and just being different, and that's what kids are kind of attracted to. So it's really good job by their program, and they're maybe one of the best programs in Croatia as far as the kids and working with the kids for years. So
cool.
So also
one of the
big
things,
part is Bartol Bosanac, tough. It's gonna be a base hit. Great job.
Swinging butt and gets on base. Base is loaded.
A 16-year-old
with 1 out, right? We got just 1 out.
It's his first international game. In his second at bat, he gets a first hit. I would say save the ball, but I'm not allowed to yell here from the. But maybe he's gonna wait for a better hit. Although it comes in a great time, moving the runners, and maybe now maybe go to the game just a little bit. And then Sven Anić here, and good opportunity for Olimpija Karlovac to actually to turn the game around. And let's see if Sven Anić, a 9 batter but the fastest guy on the field, can really capitalize on this situation. And pitch inside, looks like for both sides this part of the plate got locked a little bit. Carlos Garcia had the same complaints on the umpire. Not really complaints, just disappointment of not calling that pitch.
Not even sure he can see home plate. It hasn't been dusted off.
That's true.
I can't see it from up here, so I guess maybe he has a better view.
It is covered in clay, so maybe that's why it's a good call. Maybe why suddenly the strike zone got a little bit.
You guys need to give him a brush so he can clean it off.
I think he has, but he's totally
in
the game. The game is on a fast pace, so he doesn't want to interrupt. And it's here a strike.
That's all right.
Good job.
Gotta see one.
The crowd is getting wild. It's great to see people back on the stands here in Karlovac. And traditionally, these stands will get filled during the European tournaments. And it's great to see after COVID and all the problems that we had, actually to see people here, to come here and enjoy baseball on Wednesday, which is the working day in Croatia. Amazing to see. And now Sven in really good position to score the run, record RBI via walk, or really concentrate on the next pitch and try to hammer maybe something which should be. Let's see if the pitcher will go with his fastball or he's going to choose the secondary pitch, try to fool Sven, but on number 9 batter, should be fastball, right?
You better make him put it in play, that's for sure.
And right there, they're not
Oh!
going to turn, and
Under
it's
his
an
feet.
error. Error
Look
on
at
the
that,
second baseman allowed Sven. They would not be turning double play for sure, with Sven being the
Trying to turn it
speediest
too
guy.
soon.
Yeah,
Trying
yeah,
to turn it too soon.
yeah.
Ball got away from him.
Yeah.
Run scores.
Like they
Still
say,
bases loaded.
first out needs to be a sure out. So you
Yeah,
make
that's
sure
for
you
sure.
make an out. Sure.
It's never
The
a mistake
sec-
to make an out.
yes.
Let's get the out.
Second guy should be a fast guy, so you feed the shortstop, and shortstop make sure he gets rid of ball fast.
Right.
But like in this case, Sven to Kevin Volaric, who is also one of the faster guy on the team. So it's good 9-1 combination that actually kind of like a second leadoff when it blends
That,
in
when
into
I
the
coached,
game. Yeah.
that was always the best thing
Right.
to do. You get that fast hitter on number 9 and follow him with that fast hitter in leadoff.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Phil Smith is on deck. Phil Smith, the ball crusher. I mean, real American. And tell me something. Why every American, whoever shows up, even if he's not batting here, can really hit the ball? That's like it's in DNA of every
Well,
American guy.
You know, it's one of those things where you grew up with it, right? It's something that
Yeah.
you witnessed from age 2 to
Yeah.
to now how old you are, but it's kind of does become a part
Yeah.
of your DNA just because you've seen it all the time,
Yeah.
and then you're getting a chance to play it.
Play a lot, yeah.
It's
Oh.
our America's pastime, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like here, every kid knows how to kick a soccer ball. We had actually a player this year,
Yeah.
and he come a little bit before this tournament. He's gonna stay on this tournament. Great
That's it.
hit by Kevin Volaric to right field. Single. It's gonna score one for
seen it
sure.
too?
Svenanic sending to Svenanic. They're gonna get him. No tag. No tag. That was Bartol Bosanac running fast. Really great slide by Bartol to make it a 3-2 Olimpija. Great job by Kevin Volaric, not trying to do much, taking the ball to right field. Right way to do it.
Amen.
Right
He
way
just
to do
let
it.
The ball get to him and took it the opposite field.
Amazing hit. 2 RBIs for Kevin Volaric. Great base running by Bartol Bosanac. Even better slide. Avoided the tag from the catcher, and Olimpija is on top 3-2 and
In
still
scoring position, first and
yes,
third.
still scoring position.
down.
Still Phil Smith to come. And
But,
let's see what Phil can do in this situation.
Mistake by the second baseman's coming back to haunt him.
And Phil has really been taking his game to another level last 2 years, 3 years. He was always the guy who would swing the hardest and hit the ball the furthest, and still he's able to do that. But a lot of bad discipline, hitting the ball right away, a lot of bunts, moving the runners, understanding the situation. So really a great transition for him. From guy being the one who can hit the ball over those railroad tracks to actually team player just gives
Comes
them
with
more depth.
maturity.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have to hit it the furthest. I need to be the best.
Good steal, double steal, and Sven is gonna
Got
be out.
That was
Olimpija tried, well executed, yes.
Yeah,
Then-
the shortstop came in
Yeah.
in front of the bag and
Yeah.
grabbed it when he saw the
Yeah.
third runner at third take off.
Yeah,
so.
but great aggressive baseball, I would say. Yeah.
Still got a runner in position,
Yeah.
in scoring position.
Yeah. Olimpija did that this year. The umpire heard you,
Hey,
so
look at
yeah.
that.
Here we
He
go.
used
What
the
is that?
brush.
Yeah, it looks
We
bigger.
might have- we might have strikes now.
Looks like those bigger bases, but it's a home plate. Yeah.
We didn't know we had one.
We thought it got taken away by a player, and it wouldn't be the first time before when we didn't have a basis
It's a
anchored.
true stealing home.
Yeah, it's true stealing home. Yeah. But yeah,
Look
there
at
is
that lead
a
at second.
story once, and it was at the beginning of a baseball game here, and the base was not really put in the ground, so the guy slid in, and the base took off, and he actually went grab a second base and start running to third, so he was kind of safe all the time, but
I don't think it works that way.
yeah, it didn't really work out good, but it was a good steal attempt.
Yeah.
He was always
Makes
safe,
for a
so
good
yeah,
story, too.
can really tag him out. So yeah, the things
So
you
got
see
a runner
here.
in
It's
scoring position and
yeah,
at second base. 2 outs.
a good lead. Another step. And walk, a patient fill, and now Bobo Gales. Bobo Gales, who's been a dominant in Croatian league, in interleague, on European tournaments, and definitely a top player out of Croatia. Played on Marietta College in Georgia, and he's one of the homegrown players. Had a lot of chances to go play in Europe, but actually never took the money. It was more for him to play baseball in his hometown, and really a true captain.
Good
Oh,
stab
that's
by
too
the
bad.
pitcher.
Grabs
Ball
it
hit
back,
right
but
back into
another,
the
yeah, it was a good job by Olimpija offense scoring a 3 runs. So,
Došla je peta izmjena, preokret Olimpija vodi 3-2.
so yeah, just maybe hang on just a second longer. I just want to touch one more.
No, man, I just
yeah.
got him some runs. I need to leave.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I don't want to bring any more runs in here. It's the wrong team.
Yes, we're gonna let you go before inning, but I just wanna say one non-profit that really kind of helped us through you, and it's connecting to Baseball Hall of Fame and Roberto Kids and the gentleman who was running. He unfortunately,
Steve,
yes,
Steve Bender.
Steve
Yeah.
Binder, who passed away, but I see his kind of legacy is continuing and
Yeah.
looking at. And I know he was a really good friend, yes,
dear friend.
of yours. So I just want to kind of mention that out of respect what he did, and actually it's great to see that the spirit that he put in everything. It's continuing, and
Right.
I don't know who is running. One of his families still running his Facebook page and kind of posting little things to the people. Hey, do you know from what year is this? Steve shirts. But yeah, we still have. And I remember we had those beautiful baseballism hats, and that were actually we got through him that our little league coaches had, and it's because they have red, white, and blue colors, which is Croatia
brought
colors.
those several years ago.
Yeah, so it's
now
amazing.
I have a great relationship with those guys, and every year they always contact me. Got any need for them? So
so whenever you talk to any of, even if you to the family or people, just kind of make sure you let them know that people here recognize kind of his legacy and what he did for baseball overall in the world, because his donations were going everywhere. We were just blessed to have a little piece, a little taste of his really great heart and amazing things that he had, and he worked at Baseball Hall of Fame, right?
Yes. Right.
So and a lot of good stories from people there, and he was a very loved guy, and he'll be really greatly missed. So
very honorable man that wanted to help the world with the game of baseball. That's how we met. Was through the gifts of many people. And so actually traveled to New York to visit him one time and grabbed a bunch of equipment and drove it home back to Texas.
It was a short trip, huh?
Yeah. Several stops in between. When you got a 27-foot U-Haul truck filled with equipment.
But I really appreciate. Really, thank you very much. Sure, go ahead.
Our friendship was in 2019 when you guys were able to make a migration over to Texas and had the opportunity to go and do cultural things, and
it was
during Easter, so we went to church and we played some tournaments, and the people back in Texas still talk about the mix-it-up tournament that we played, where we mixed it up. It wasn't Croatian versus America. It was we mixed the teams up, and when I mixed those teams up, what was neat for me was watching in the stands where Croatian families and moms and dads were sitting with USA cheering for the same team and talking and sharing, and then the kids got to, wasn't us versus them, and so we're planning on doing more mix-it-ups in the future. So
it was really amazing time that we did. We really had a great time the kids had, and the Ace, right? The Ace hosted us there on their field as well, and it was really well organized trip, and really you guys did a great job. But not just on this trip, but overall, really, I want to kind of again say my appreciation for everything you do here for our baseball program here in Croatia, but overall just for people in Croatia in need. Your His Print organization, it's really it's amazing organization, and the things that you guys do are really go way beyond, and they're what kind of love for people is all about, and you really are, and you show that. And whenever whoever your member is, when you're around, it really feels that you're with a good people and you're in a good
I
place.
appreciate
So
that.
yeah.
And we're blessed to what we've done, and we're
Yeah.
looking forward to what's in the future.
Yeah,
So
thank you very much. I mean, we
You're
could
welcome.
talk here a whole day for
Yeah, we
sure.
could.
We got a
got a
lot
game
of
to
great
call.
stories, but yeah, thank you very much for being
God
here.
bless
Your
you. Did you get
first
that on
guest.
camera?
We
was a
get
handshake.
a handshake. Yeah, we have a picture. So thank you very much,
Yeah,
David,
God
and
bless.
yeah, God bless you, man. Thank you.
It's off. Is that all right? Or do you- No, 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 not at all.
And that was David Moss. Really great talking to him, and amazing human being with a lot of great stories, a lot of good things, and yeah, we're gonna see for sure and hear more about the David in the future. So as he's leaving, thank you, David, one more time, and amazing thing that organization does and helps people around. So, and it was a really amazing and exciting.
Rezultat je 3-2 za Olimpiju.
It was exciting inning where Olimpija scored 3 runs and was able actually to do the transition inning and shut down the Vienna Wanderers in offense after scoring the run and taking the lead. So it's a 3-2 lead of Olimpija. Olimpija is now in control with the Yorman Alcala coming up at bat next. So yeah, really a lot of amazing stories that we can talk. But as David mentioned, we were in Houston 2019. Had a chance to go again, and unfortunately the COVID kind of stopped everything for a couple of years. And we're really hoping to getting back in the future. But the way we were hosted there, and our kids were taken care of, how people did that was really amazing. And then David mentioned that mix-up game that kind of stuck to everybody's mind, and that was really a kind of cool thing, mixing the kids and mixing the parents. So it was again not about the result and who is winning or what. It was just a pure joy and pure love for the game of baseball, which actually every team in Croatia pretty much has that, with Karlovac maybe being on top of that. It's just people do not care so much about the fancy stuff. It's just they want to play baseball, and with a little help it can be accomplished a lot, and especially when we have such a good friends that are able to donate the equipment, donate the baseball, and actually maybe collect some funds that then we use to buy the material and build everything else with our own hands. And this is how this actually field got to the shape that it's here, and that it's been great field for many years now, and really a host of the best team in this part of Europe. So it's a really a blessing to have people like that to support your program, and just really looking forward to what the future and cooperation with his sprint will bring to the Croatian baseball and the youth program as well. So Yorman Alcala stepping up at the plate. Yorman, who was solid last games in Croatian League. So far, Alcala did have one hit, so he's batting 500 on this tournament. Let's see what Alcala can do. First pitch strike, always good. We have a new pitcher, I guess. We should. We're still waiting for official on the web page for officials to change it. Right now it's still Andrew Da Silva. It says 5 inning pitched, 4 Ks, a pop up, but Fly ball, easy out by a center fielder. Jorman Alcala with his speed should really invest more into hitting line drives and hitting the ball to the ground, something which he really did good last season, and like I said, this season a little bit behind what is expected from player his caliber, but he's also a young kid, 20 years old, so he still has a space to grow, and he's a hard worker. You're gonna see him come here during mornings and afternoons and just go in the cage by himself, put a iron mic on and just hit the ball off a tee and work hard. So it will pay off at the end. To those ones who work, it always does pay off. So saying that about the hard workers, today, 7th of June, is really a sad day for the Croatian sports itself. It's anniversary of death of one of the biggest basketball players in the world, and as Rumara hits a ball to the right field, and Pero Rumara continues to do a good job hitting like he did last years and years before. But yeah, it's anniversary of that of Dražen Petrovic, who was one of the greatest basketball players from Europe. Really left his mark not just in Europe but the NBA. Croatian captain, Croatian idol, and unfortunately he died in a car accident in I think 1993. Which kind of left the whole Croatian sport devastated. So rest in peace, our captain. Really, it's amazing story, and if you have a chance to Google, if you don't know who Dražen Petrovic is, try to look out. It's one of the hardest working. Remember, in last inning, it was a chance for a double play for Vienna Wanderers to get out of the inning without a run, but it was an error by a second baseman. Again, the ball not fielded cleanly, but was able to get an out, and Paavo Karin this time productive out as he moves Petar Rumora to second base, and chance for Kevin Voleric to extend the Olimpija lead with one swing. Is that, sorry, my bad, maybe that's Benjamin Paulic. I should know the players, but by now that's Benjamin Paulic again, a homegrown player, a national team player, senior national team player. The physical education college he's attending, so it's sports and nutritionism I think he's taking, so hopefully he's gonna stay in sport for a long time and be a coach and be a leader to young generations to come, to keep them in sports, as this is really important in today's world, to keep kids active as much as possible. And Benny saw that as his calling. He loves sports, loves baseball, and signed up for a college, and we wish him all the luck in passing all the exams and making it to the bachelor degree. So as he has a chance to move the Olimpija to the 4 runs, and he's very patient hitter, like I said, good contact hitter, hard to strike out, attracts a lot of hit by pitches. It's amazing how some players have tendency to do that, and Benjamin is one of those players. And as he hits the ball in right field, it's gonna be on a trouble spot, but right fielder is right there and makes a nice running catch for the 3rd out, and no runs for Olimpija in this inning, and it's 3-2 after 6.
Šesta izmjena, Olimpija Vienna Wanderers 3-2.
A i dalje Silva Andrew unutra. And we're back. We do have a little bit problem with the stats, so actually don't know the name of pitcher. If there was a pitching change, everybody's saying there was. From here it looks like. And base hit. Vienna Wanderers, a lead off, it's on base. Carlos Garcia still on the mound for Olimpija. Let me take a look. If I'm gonna see if there is any bullpen activities, there is nobody in Olimpija's bullpen, so Olimpija is trusting Carlos Garcia to go the distance in this game, and the way he pitched so far, and if he continues like that, he earned his right to stay on the mound. Ball in the dirt. Good pick by catcher Phil Smith. Like I said, the catcher Phil Smith joined the Karlovac team in 2015. Overall, played 191 games for the Karlovac team, which is respectable. Puts him in the top 50 of the players, or maybe less, in the top 40 of the players. As Carlos Garcia hit by pitch and problems with the control, let's see if there will be any bullpen activities. We don't see anybody running to the bullpen, but I'll try to settle Carlos Garcia. He's still one ground ball. Can get him in a good spot. While a base hit or a double or by the Austrian team could really have a huge impact. And let's see if they're gonna play the bunt. No, they did not show bunt, at least in the first on the first pitch. So they're looking to for Vienna. Ground ball to the shortstop, second baseman, and safe on the first base, out on the second base for the first out. So a productive out by Vienna Wanderers. Move the runner to third base, and now with the one down, chance for a fly ball or a bunt or maybe slow roller to score in the run. Let's see what path Olimpija is gonna take. Are they gonna be playing completely in, or just corners in? Shortstop and second baseman working for a double play. And really interesting game. 3-2, top of the 7th inning. Olimpija, Vienna Wanderers. Olimpija, the home team and organizing of Confederation Cup, facing off for the 8th time in Europe on European competitions against the Vienna team, and so far 6-1 in games for Olimpija. A breaking ball. Bartol Bosanac dives and he's gonna make double play. What a great play! What a great play by young second baseman, really earning his spot this year. Bobo Galez recognized his abilities and gave him a chance, and boy did it pay off. What a great defensive play. Double play and no runs for Vienna Wanderers in the top of the 7th. Neki još malo prodaju. Wow, that was amazing play by Bartol Bosanac, a young player, 16 years old, but doing amazing job defensively. He's still growing into his body and growing into muscles. but really did a great job. Remember the base running and the great slide he had to put Olimpija ahead, and now with a nice diving play keeps the Olimpija in the lead. It's always great to see the young Karlovac players, the homegrown players on such big international scene to make a difference in the ball game, and he's the one who is gonna be leading off right now. He really pumped after the play he made, and let's see what it usually happens as the train goes by, which is a tradition here in Karlovac. You're gonna hear the trains. What do they have, a horn, I guess, honk a horn, I would say. But it's a tradition by those who operate the train to kind of show respect. So many times during the baseball game, you're gonna hear a train passing by. So Bartol Bosanac there showing a bunt, but it's strike. Like I said, Bartol Bosanac plays forever. Start playing as soon as the T-ball started here in Karlovac. National team player for a junior team, so it's really also good to see this year the Croatian junior national team is traveling to Ireland to play, and Bartol Bosanac will be playing a big part in that national team as well. Great strike on outside part of the plate, and Alexander Ressel is the pitcher last inning and this inning, so the stats start working. Bartol Bosanac hit the soft ground ball. Let's see if he can beat it out again. Yes! He beats it out. He's trying for second base, and he's gonna slide down, and he's gonna make it. A head first slide. What a great effort. Again, Bartol Bosanac really making a difference for Olimpija in this game, and he's right now keeping the Olimpija ahead. A great base hit, I would say. I think it's gonna be scored a base hit because he clearly beat out that play, and great awareness of where the ball is and using his speed, sliding well, staying low, avoiding the tag, and making it to the second base. And now Sven Anic, and I bet the Sven is gonna bunt. I put some money on that, and there is a bunt. Now Sven takes it back. Not happy with the call, but I guess by the way the coaches are talking, and it's the one fun thing when you play European tournaments. We all speak different languages. Well, most of the countries that are not related at all, and Croatia being smaller language, you can actually talk baseball and talk science out loud. Of course, not using international words. So yes, the Sven puts there. Second baseman, is this gonna beat it out? Yes, he beats it. No! Wow! It looked like from here that Sven beat it out, but anyways, he did his job. He moved the runners. If he would be safe, there would be just an extra thing for him. But anyways, a good jump from the second base by Bartol Bosanac. Good bunt by Sven Anic. Good hustle, which looked like a save, but the umpire, who is much closer than we are, made the call. One down, and now Kevin Volaric, infield in for Vienna Wanderers. They're protecting every run now because every run matters and could be crucial for this game. And let's see if Olimpija can double their lead. Breaking ball, Kevin Volaric lays it off, not really catching for this, not really fishing. He's staying patient, looking at the signs. Let's see if it's gonna be just hitting or not, but there is also potential for a small ball. Kevin Volaric, line drive back to the pitcher. Great reaction by the pitcher. Those balls can be scary going back to the pitchers, and the pitchers who got hit have tendency to flinch, but the Austrian pitcher showed didn't flinch an eye, or that's an expression. So Alexander Ressel really kind of did a great job controlling that line drive and getting a second out. Phil Smith now batting. That's the heart of Karlovac's lineup. Let's see if Olimpija can capitalize the infield single by Bartol Bosanac, great base running, and then bunt of Sven Anic moving him. First was well hit ball, first chance was well hit ball by Kevin Volaric, line drive that pitcher caught. Phil Smith hits a high ball. Let's see if it's gonna stay in ground. And a great play by the shortstop. Great play by the shortstop by the fence in a foul ball to make and third out. And unfortunately, Olimpija left the runner stranded at the third base. But again, Olimpija showing life. Young players of Olimpija showing life, which is really amazing and great to see. As we move to the top of the 8th inning, Vienna Wanderers, their 8th offense attacking. Olimpija protecting the lead, 3-2, scored 3 runs in 5th inning. Vienna Wanderers were first taking the lead in the 3rd inning by a good base running on a wild pitch, moving from 1st to 3rd and then scoring a run. But then Olimpija came back with a couple of good hits, good base running by Bartol Bosanac, great slide and great defense, powered by Carlos Garcia, who is pitching really well. Everything but beside 1 inning when he had bases loaded was a problem. Balls bounced a little bit to the left, but Carlos Garcia records another out. It was Yorman Alcala behind him. The ball took a hop to the left, the player's left. But Yorman was moving his legs all the time, not standing still, which allowed him to change direction and actually catch that ball on a short hop, which is always what you want to do if you're an infielder, you know, on in-betweeners. Really good glove by Yorman and good throw for the first out of 8th inning. Carlos Garcia doing a good job. Carlos 128 pitches, if I'm seeing real good. 77 of those are strikes. A great breaking ball, Carlos Garcia. Pounding the zone. Carlos Garcia. Troncoso. Eduardo. Typically a lot of Spanish name. And Yorman Alcala going back on a weakly hit line drive. Gets in second out, so 2 outs by Yorman. The Venezuelan connection working really good. Another strike. A lot of, I would say, 80% of the batters of Carlos Garcia. He started the batters with first pitch strike, which really shows on his stats. So there's still nobody in the bullpen of Olimpia. So I guess if everything continues, they're looking to Carlos going all the way, maybe. Again, Carlos catching with a hand, stopping the ball, throwing it for the third out. That's the second time that Carlos did it, which is a no-no, but it hit directly in the palm. It's always, it was not that hard hit ball, but it can bounce really badly and hit the fingers of a pitcher, and this is something that you don't want your pitcher to do. But Carlos not really thinking about his body, thinking about team first, and just getting an out, and shows how tough of a player he is. And really good pitching performance. Great 8 innings by Carlos Garcia, and Olimpia defense doing the job. Timely hitting put the Olimpia ahead 3-2. So we're gonna have really interesting game down to the last strike, and can't wait to see how this beautiful gem of a game turns out. We're back with Olimpia 8th, bottom of the 8th inning, and Slobodan Gales, Bobo Gales, leading off, a homegrown player of Olimpia, one of, like I said many times, but for you who maybe joined in late, homegrown player and the best player to a Croatian-born player. For sure, a pitcher for a long time as well as an outfielder, but just overall a great hustle, a work hard guy, a blue collar type of a player, likes to get dirty, likes to slide in, and he takes a walk. 36 years old, taking a position of player manager, which is always tough to do, especially when you're playing the field. So we'll see. The sun is setting here in Karlovac, and it gets low, and it affects the right fielder and the second baseman and the first baseman as well. So sometimes the double plays can be tricky at this time of summer. That's usually when 5 p.m. games are starting, with the sun being up until 8:30 p.m. So pick-off back, Bobo Gales slides back, gets in time. Was pretty decent pick-off, but Bobo Gales was able to read it on time. Jorman Alcala batting. Let's see if he can move the runner. They're gonna let him hit, and he hits the right field. Great pickup by second baseman. Great slide by Bobo, disrupted the double play, so double clutch had to happen from shortstop, and Bobo Gales understanding the game. It was a clean slide back to the base, according to new rules. It was no slides outside of the base, so really good job by Bobo Gales, but a great job by second baseman, who had kind of a one misplay or two misplay. One misplay was not led to the Olympia's lead. After that, instead of a double play, that was bases loaded, and then Olimpia was able to capitalize with a hit after that. And then let's see what they're gonna do now. I don't know what's happening actually. Is there a change or there is a new speed up rules here now for European baseball as well. There's no pitch clock here, but you are not allowed to leave the batter's box. Only with one leg you're able to step out to get a sign, but you cannot leave batter box unless the ball was foul balled. If you swing then a miss, and there are certain times where you could, but everybody's trying to keep the pace of game fast, so actually umpires can issue you a warning, and after that they can call a strike. So those are the new set of speed up rule, and also in extra innings are starting in case it happens here. It's gonna start with runner on second base, I guess. That was the last ruling. First they had first and second, but then somebody actually came to the sense that it's easier to do the out on third on a bunts, so actually you're not speeding up the game, that only second base is better, which of course it makes sense, and I hope they did manage to make the rule change for this tournament, and if needed. So far we didn't need it, but this game is really close, so you never know. Petar Rumora shows the bunt. Alcala really taking an extra step on his secondary lead. Good throw back by a catcher, a quick release. Almost resulted in out. We're not sure if that was actually a fake play or they really wanted to bunt Pero Rumora here. Pero being a really good contact hitter, and actually he can steal base. He stole the base as well, so if you kind of judge him by his look, you know, you might have a problem with that. And actually he did stole a base. He got a good lead and good jump, and that's sometimes all you need. You don't need that extra speed if you're a smart base runner and are able to read the pitcher and know when the pitcher is going to the home plate, maybe a fraction of a second before even pitcher knows he's gonna throw. So, but that's art itself, the art of base stealing, which in European baseball happens obviously more often than what's happening in Major League Baseball. Although with this new rule changes in Major League, for me personally, it's a much fun game. I love small ball, I love running game, hit and runs, and it's well, growing up in Europe when there is no big home run hitters and nobody expecting here to guys to hit a home run every 7th, 8th at bat. It happens occasionally, I would say. So Pero Rumora takes another ball. Let's see, Jorman Alcala is there, ready. Is he gonna go? Looks like he's ready to go. Yes, he's going. Pero Rumora swings the bat. Good contact hitter. Jorman is going to throw to the third. Jorman is safe. Pero Rumora moves him to the third base. Great hit and run and hit, whatever you want to call it, but great execution again of a small ball by Olimpia, and now a big chance for Olimpia to add another run, which would for Olimpia be crucial in this situation to keep them ahead and have maybe a little bit easier a 9th inning for a win. Pavel Karin steps in, and let's see if Pavel can actually do the damage here, keep the batting order going, and bring Phil Smith. Or, excuse me, swing. It's gonna be a base hit. No, out for Pavel Karin, moves just a runner to second base. That was the ball that if runner took off right away, which he should, in my opinion, if it was a contact play, he would be safe. But I guess that was the different idea and different play as the coach player Bobo Gales is not happy with the performance of Pavel Karin. I'm sure he had other things in mind, maybe even a bunt or something like that, but they did not end well for Olimpija offense, and now it's all on back of Benjamin Pavlic to try with one base hit maybe to score two runners in scoring position. If Benjamin one hits here, he's gonna pick up his teammates, so it's gonna be all forgotten, but let's see how it's gonna end. Benjamin hits a ball real well, and it is for sure single by Benjamin Pavlic. Is gonna score 2 runs, and a great job by Benjamin Pavlic. What a great hit, and 5-2 Olimpija Karlovac ahead of Vienna Wanderers. A great insurance runs by Olimpija.
Udarac Benjamina Pavlića, 5-2 za Olimpiju.
A great pickup of his teammate Pavel Karin, who did not go through but was able at least to move the runner to second base, which allowed Benjamin Pavlic with one hit to score 2 runs, and Olimpija take now what looks for them a little bit more breathing room and better lead 5-2. Bartol Bosanac, who really is the reason why Olimpija was ahead 3-2. Great defensive plays, great base running, a couple of infield hits for this youngster. Definitely the future of not just Karlovac baseball but the Croatia baseball itself. Let's see if Bartol can keep the line going and pass the baton to Sven Anić, who is eager to go back and do some more damage. Crowd is getting excited as it should be, as the game is getting closer. A tight game. Swing and a miss by young Bartol Bosanac, which is quite fine, but great. Another great offensive line of Olimpija, scoring 2, taking a 5-2 lead, and we're going into 9th, and we're gonna see if Carlos Garcia is back on the mound. And we're back, and Carlos Garcia is back in the mound. So coach player Bobo Gales showing really good respect, great respect to his pitcher Carlos Garcia, and letting him finish this inning. Really confident that after 135 pitches Carlos Garcia has thrown, and a first pitch swinging, which is really odd. Pero Rumra has a room, going back and makes a catch for a first out. Pero Rumra making a great catch. 1 out, 1 down. Really surprising that Vienna Wanderers would be swinging on a first pitch. I mean, 135 pitches the starter has, so just you need to take a strike at that moment and see if you can do something crazy, walk or hit by pitch in order to get on base to make this game. Another first pitch swing. What are they doing? It's amazing. really amazes me, but this time it was foul ball. I guess that's one of those plays, if you get a hit, you're right, but if you make an out or don't make a good contact, then it makes you look bad. Another swing and a miss, so 3 pitches, 3 swings. Carlos Garcia pounding the zone, which he should, with a 3-run lead. Really good chance for Olimpija Karlovac to open this hunt of the Confederation Cup title with a win. Carlos Garcia delivers the ball in the outfield, sliding catch, and no, it drops out of the glove of Kevin Volaric. He was right on it, right there. Great effort by Kevin Volaric, and crowds recognize that as he gets a claps and ovation from the big crowd here in Karlovac. Really amazing to see people back on the baseball field. It is a pretty good crowd for Croatia. Great to see crowd back, and runner on first with a base hit. Let's see if Vienna Wanderers can hang in there. Breaking ball for a ball. Another train going by. A tradition here. Baseball and a train, very old school setup. Usually when the older coaches come in and old school coaches from the States come in, they love it because it just brings a taste of their childhood when the baseball field were fitted in the towns and close to living area. There are some, of course, fields left this way in the major league, and this Karlovac, Four River Stadium, being in the middle of town of Karlovac, has that setup. Actually, you can walk from your house, couple of minutes from the house, and you're right there at the heart of a town on a nice baseball field and a nice diamond. What a great block by Phil Smith. And Phil Smith also excelled in this, as he was working, as I mentioned before, with coach Dario Latkovic, who is coaching young kids, catchers and speed and agility, but specialized in a catcher. And he was one of the best defensive catchers in Croatia ever to play. He's transferring that knowledge. And a chance for double play, let's say. Carlos 2, and a double play to end, and a great win by Olimpija Karlovac. What a great end to that game. And Carlos Garcia, what a jam. What a pitching jam.
Olimpija Vienna Wanderers 5-2. Vidimo se svi sutra u 17 sati protiv Astros bejsbola iz Valencije, koji su danas također slavili baš 5-2. A dođite i ujutro u 10 te u 13:30 pogledati ostale utakmice. Olimpija Vienna Wanderers 5-2, sutra u 17 sati, Olimpija protiv Astros bejsbola iz Valencije.
What a great job by Olimpija. Olimpija defense did their job. Carlos Garcia was in the zone whole day. Had just one rough inning where he was able to get out of jam, bases loaded with only 1 run. But great defensive plays and base running by a young player, Bosanac, who did really a great job. And there was timely hitting by Kevin Volaric and another homegrown player, Benjamin Paulic, and did their job. And really 5 runs was enough for great defense and a great pitching by Carlos Garcia, throwing around 143-4 pitches for complete game jam, and the first win for Olimpija Karlovac in this tournament. And tomorrow at 5 o'clock, Olimpija is going to play against Spanish team Valencia. Valencia beat the Belgian team Pioneers in the first game, also with the result 5-2. So the way, depending on, of course, game in the morning, but it looks like that Olimpija will be battling the Belgian team on Friday, 5 o'clock, for entry in the semifinals. But of course, there's game tomorrow and a big chance against, I would say, heavy favorite Spanish team against Olimpija. But it's a good chance for Olimpija to try out things and try actually to win the division and get in the semifinals, technically saying a lighter opponent. But thank you very much. It was really fun doing this. I hope you enjoyed a beautiful scenery in Karlovac in Croatia. I hope that you enjoyed our guest and the talk we had. And well, we'll see each other and hear each other tomorrow. Play ball. See you tomorrow.